Welcome to The Favorites, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. We are an Action Network podcast. I'm Brandon Kravitz, and the crew is back together on this fine Tuesday morning. Kendra Middleton and the Prime Minister of Degenerate Nation, Stuckey, is here as well. On today's episode, we've got our Plant the Flag game for Week 11, a Thursday night preview that ought to be quick because that game is kind of gross. And, of course, the main event, Evans Tuesday Primer. Phenomenal night of football last night. A true throwback slobber knocker, and one that netted me some cheese along the way, both literally and figuratively. Now, Kendra, the touchdown props did let us down last night. You and Evan handled things quite well on the Sunday night recap show, but what do you feel we learned from that 10-7 slugfest on ABC/ESPN?
I learned that maybe these billionaires are right. YouTube TV was right. I didn't need to watch that game last night. They saved me low key from having to sit down and watch that on my couch. Instead, I totally legally streamed it on my computer while I made bagels and banana bread. And that was a better use of my time than really sitting there intensely watching that game because it was ass.
I am not bold enough to illegally stream anything these days because I'm just afraid of everything in my house getting hacked. There's so much that's digitally connected, but I'm a YouTube TV subscriber. I wasn't able to sit back and watch it last night. I'm boycotting this ESPN dispute. Eventually, I will have to give in. Thankfully, I was working a Magic game last night, so I wasn't sitting on the couch debating how I want to spend my $30 that ESPN is trying to get from us. But
it's $20. And also, fun fact, you have to go into your account and activate it. You don't actually just get it. You have to go on your desktop and activate the coupon that they're giving you.
Well, that's just for they just give you $20. They're not giving us ESPN. I want the network. I don't want their money. Stuckey, what'd you take away from last night?
Yeah, this is a great call by you. You got a terrible bet by me. I mean, I don't care about losing a bet. Things happen in a football game, but like always want to get the best of the line. So didn't there. It was just probably my worst week of NFL. It was a trade deadline week. I know better than the bet early sometimes. I bet the Falcons +6. Could have gotten a 6.5. They lose by 6 in overtime. So just some terrible bets made across the board. But yeah, I thought the Eagles were the slightly better team. I mean, no one did anything. I mean, I can't remember the NFL being this boring in a long, long time. The bottom, not even, I'll get to that game in a sec, but just the bottom of the league right now is so bad, and it's creating way too many uncompetitive games. But yeah, I thought both offenses were ugly. The Eagles offense still looks broken. The play calling is not creative. They're running it too much. And then the Packers did the same. I get that Jenkins left the game. There was no Golden. I underestimated the loss of Kraft, not only in the receiving game, but also what he does in other facets. And then they lost Dobbs at the end, and you're throwing to Bo Melton too much. But I thought that the Packers were just poorly coached throughout the whole game on offense. I mean, you have a 4th and 1. It's kind of ironic this happened against the Eagles. A 4th and 1 where you false start. You had a long play to Christian Watson, which it took away a score. It was an illegal formation. They had an illegal formation on the 4th down on that to end the game before they ended up getting the ball back. But on that play, I mean, the Eagles were calling out the play. They were saying inside zone. You're running an inside zone 4th and 1 from shotgun without your starting center in there. Get up and sneak it or do something else. And then you have LaFleur, who I love. Like Brandon McManus is done. I think he's 3 of 9 from 40 plus this year. I get he was like 5 yards away on the first kick, but he's not making a 64-yarder outdoors in Lambeau, and
It
he's got
wasn't
like
even
a
close.
bum leg.
His career is 61.
So yeah, I mean,
That was probably in Denver in his prime, though.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and there was some wind that was apparently going with them, but like it swirls, and I thought that was a horrible decision. So yeah, I mean the thing is with the Packers right now, they have to figure out their offense. So like, what do you do? The Eagles basically were inviting them to run the ball the entire game, and they obliged. There was way too many early down runs, and they kind of played right. I get the the no Kraft and injuries at receiver, but there were opportunities downfield that they're whenever they did try to throw it, and they either didn't make the play or didn't do it often enough. But they have to figure out the offense because this defense right now is playing at a Super Bowl caliber level. I mean, you look at some of their losses this year. They have three losses where they haven't allowed more than two scores on the year. So like you only allow 10 points in that game at home. I don't care about the injuries. You have to find a way to score more than 7 points at home. So yeah, they have some soul searching to do. I didn't think LaFleur called a great game. So the defense is a Super Bowl caliber, but the special teams certainly isn't right now, and then the offense isn't. And they're gonna have to get more creative without Kraft. Now this week it probably won't hurt them. You're going up against the Giants' run defense, so you can get away with all these early down runs most likely. But I mean, if you want to make a real run, this offense has to figure some things out. It will also help when their wide receivers get healthy, but I definitely underestimated the loss of Kraft. But was disappointing, just coaching effort I thought from LaFleur and the Packers all around. And then the Eagles still have questions on offense, but I did think I was really impressed with the Eagles' defense. It's been a pretty average unit all year. The addition of Phillips I thought was big. I thought he played really well, gave them some extra juice off the edge. So I thought Roseman did a really nice job, which he usually does with the addition of Phillips. I think he raises the floor of that defense. So yeah, big win for the Eagles is huge in the NFC standings. Then you look like that game was so much more important for the Packers because look at their division. It's going to be an all-out war throughout. And then look at the Eagles division. I mean, the Commanders have basically quit on the season. And they have, I don't even know who they have left on the roster. The Giants just fired their coach. I mean, the Cowboys have a historically bad defense. It's night and day when you compare the NFC East and the NFC North. So that game was a big, big swing for the Packers and gives the Eagles even more breathing room as they try to go after that one seed.
We're missing the most important slash insane part of the evening. This is the revenge of the tush push game. The Packers are the people who wanted to ban the tush push after the postseason last year. And the Eagles on the tush push go early, don't get the call. And then a couple of plays later, the Packers go early and they call it on the Packers. It's just flat out comedy. Comedy.
The
Just the
Packers
way that
did go.
last.
Yeah, the Packers did go false start too, but they didn't call it. But you're
Yeah.
right. I, I don't understand why they can't see this. Why they can't
It's
see
so
it.
obvious. I mean,
Yeah,
the
like
guys in the booth are calling it out.
The
They
fans. Did you guys
they
hear the
slow.
fans?
when I'm
The
not even
fans
like when
booing?
I'm not even like half paying attention to a game, like if there's another game on another screen, I can see it. Like not even like, but you're looking right down the line. I don't
Yeah.
understand why they can't catch it. That might end up being the downfall of the tush push. I'm not for banning plays, but if they can't officiate it correctly, and I don't know why, I gotta ask a ref. Like why? Like it seems so obvious that you would be able to. Like yeah, that's the only thing you're looking for. You're just looking down the line and you're seeing if anyone come. And sometimes when the Eagles do it, it's like so obvious. The guards are like shooting past before the balls even snap. So I don't know why they can't get it right. They missed one on both teams.
It's
Um,
embarrassing. It's
yeah.
so embarrassing. And it's just the fact that, of course, it happens in that game. And the fans are catching on to it too. Like, it's an issue when the fans are officiating a game better than your zebras. Like, herd them, Goodell. What are we doing?
Yeah, pretty ugly, especially as you mentioned in a game that is 10-7. We saw very little offense on both sides. Let's get to our main dish. You mentioned it, Stuckey. The Giants fired their head coach. Brian Daboll is out. They host the Packers this week. So a nice little get right for Green Bay, perhaps in store. First question is, was it the right move? Daboll has started the last 3 seasons 2-8, but they had something cooking with Jackson Dart, and they're missing half of their functional players on this team. Do you approve the move, Stuckey?
I mean, yeah, I could see it. It just the fact that they kept. I mean, they had. I think I was reading it was a 1 in 60,000 chance if you just go based on the highest, the maximum win probability that the Giants had in the Broncos game, the Bears game, and the Cowboys game. It's like a 1 in 60,000 chance that they lost all three of those games. And a lot of that has to fall back on the coach. I thought kicking the field goal this past week was bad. Um, yeah, I mean he's always going, he's like losing his mind on the sidelines every week. So I can see why a change had to be made. I could see the argument for both sides, but he got dealt a bad hand this year with all the injuries, and uh, he walked into a bad situation. Was coach of the year his first year, which is pretty wild. Went to the
Because
playoffs with
Daniel
Daniel Jones,
Jones.
and
Literally
then
because of
So
Daniel
wait,
Jones.
two questions. I want to spin off on this for a second with the day ball stuff. Jackson Dart has now been in the blue medical tent for concussions twice. I wonder how
Is
much.
it twice? I thought it was 3 times.
Is it three? Okay. I mean, I have two that are
I could be wrong.
firmly imprinted into my head. It could be three, but we two very notable. The one this past weekend, and then the one where Brian Daboll goes, "I don't want Russell Wilson playing quarterback." And then you also have the success of Daniel Jones on the Indianapolis side, and I feel like some of the criticism towards Brian Daboll is, you got a little bit out of him, but you didn't get this. Kendra, do you think either of those has anything to do with Brian Daboll getting fired? Daniel Jones' success or not keeping your quarterback healthy?
I wouldn't say it's the not keeping your quarterback healthy thing or the Daniel Jones thing, like for sure, because we see quarterbacks go elsewhere and succeed all the time and their prior coaches not lose their job. For me, I think it's not the keeping your quarterback healthy so much beat. It's the way he handled that first potential concussion that he had by going in the tent, letting Scatabo go in there. You can't go 20 and 40 as a head coach and keep your job despite all of the injuries. I think it was just the easiest time for them to have an out on him. But I wouldn't say it's that you can't keep your quarterback healthy. It's more so just how you handled your quarterback not being healthy and being unprofessional, going in the tent, yelling at people. I think it was just more of an out, and they needed the reason more than anything else.
From a bettable perspective, the Packers were 8-point favorites last night in the look ahead. They're now sitting at 7.5.
Do I go back to the fired head coach angle?
I
I
mean,
don't
you
think
do
I
have
can. It's the perfect bounce back spot for Green Bay, and I do expect
very
them to
much so.
absolutely just beat the crap out of them.
They should.
However,
Yeah. Yeah,
but you might have to back Ross. We don't know Dart's.
Exactly.
I
Which
want
is
it to be Jameis.
I think
If it's Jameis, I will absolutely be in on this number.
this is my teaser of the week. I have down to 1.5 Lions Sunday Night Football. There's a cow that just got brought to Kendra here on the podcast from Jackson. Packers down to 1.5, Lions up to 7.5. It is sort of it's a Monday night football response here. The Packers very much in a bounce back spot, and Lions Eagles, not much separation there. The Eagles obviously have issues winning by much. So getting the Lions at plus 7.5 would feel like a gift. That would be my way of playing into this. I will not be playing either in a straight bet formula. What about you, Stuckey?
I think the Lions are so much better than the Eagles right now.
I mean, the Eagles are they just find ways. Like
they find ways.
They just ugly up the game. What are they? They're 6-1 in one possession games now. Um, like they just, but they will have they have a half. Anytime they play a competent opponent, they still have like a half where they don't score, which is very concerning. But I think their defense is playing a lot better now coming out of the bye. Um, I will say, and I don't know how much I can take from the Lions game. Like that was one of the I mean, you had Commanders where guys throwing punches, getting thrown out. Like there was some quit there, which was very not that they had much left on that defense, but um, it is hard to
Dan
say.
Quinn's calling plays on defense too, so they're making the coaching change. That's always the last line of defense.
Yeah. I mean, the Lions did. I talked about this last week about how the Lions offense has been in the tank for a month, and they made a change at play caller, which was noteworthy. I don't know, like, okay, did that help things, or is the Washington defense that bad? It could be a little bit of both. Um, as far as the Packers, I mean, you do have to look at like who's going to be healthy at wide receiver. 'Cause you saw Dubs leave, Golden was hurt. There's no Kraft, so like just the ceiling of the passing attack right now is pretty low. Now, they should be able to just line up and run it with Jacobs a lot because the Giants' run D is so bad. But They had
Maybe
some
Micah
good,
Parsons is cursed. Has anybody considered this?
I would consider you for considering this.
but yeah, I don't want to back Russ. Um, like there is something to the new coach, a new coach, and historically it's like a little bit of a bump. It's not overwhelming. And a lot of times that's like, hey, here's our new wrinkles, right? And it's something that the team isn't prepared for. And now you have a team on a short week going on the road facing a team with a new coach. But if you have Russell Wilson, like there's a lot of different new wrinkles that you could do with Dart. Like what are you doing with Russ back?
Please be Jameis.
So
Please be Jameis.
um yeah,
Are we
I
in
think
agreement
I
he
think it's
gives
a
them a
good
better
teaser piece.
chance?
I would
What
think so. I mean, it can't get any worse. Russ is so washed, but maybe with a new coaching staff, that's the way they look. But Dayball clearly had something against Jameis ever seeing the field.
Yeah, that is something to watch for sure. Because I think I would start Jameis as well. I mean, it's just, especially as a dog, like it just we Russ it just doesn't have it anymore.
And
Jameis at
he's
least
not
is
a
high
Jameis is
variance.
at
Like
least athletic.
he might throw a couple picks, but he has a better chance of throwing some touchdowns. And
Play
Russ just,
future all week in the locker room and start Jameis.
yeah, Russ's career ended on that officially in that Chiefs game when he like threw it into the tunnel 3 times at the goal
I
line.
forgot about that. His like get somebody's down there ball with nobody down there. It's just like vintage Russ.
Yeah, so that I would go Winston too, but that's certainly worth keeping an eye on.
Oh God, I making fun of Russell Wilson is so easy, but it's so fun.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Brandon, that it's a Packers are definitely an intriguing teaser piece.
Let's get to one more news item, and we've got Thursday night football to break down as well. Plant the flag coming up. Evans Primer. Burrow back at practice. He's not going to play this week. They take on the Steelers. He's eyeing a Turkey Day return. The Bengals do play on Thanksgiving. He wants to play. This is wild. I'm not saying it's the greatest bet in the world, but perhaps worth the slightest sprinkle. The Bengals right now are 120 to 1 to win the AFC. The Ravens, who are one game in front of them, are plus 650. Now, obviously, if we're playing prediction mode of which do you expect to win the AFC, if you had to pick one, we'd all pick the Ravens, but the price is wildly different. Any interest here, as crazy as it is, Stuckey?
No, I mean that defense isn't getting fixed.
Their
The
defense is
offensive
ass,
line
yeah.
isn't. And then you're gonna have Burrow. Like we've seen Burrow. It's like I bought some Ravens future and division when at the bottom before the Miami game. Um, and I mean before the Bears game. And luckily Tyler Huntley won that game. But I don't like to see the Bears potentially coming back for that week. That's when he would have to come back Thanksgiving week. Otherwise, his season would be over because they just opened his window. But they play the Ravens twice in 3 weeks. Um, but I mean, like right now, the offense isn't the problem. Like, how much more can Burrow do? Like, it's the defense, it's the offensive line. Um, but like they've lost games over the past 2 weeks where they scored 38 and 42 points. And they played the Jets and the Bears. These aren't like the number one offenses in the league. Um, so I just don't think that they can with that defense. And then you have to remember, I mean, they have 3 wins right now. They're going to be dogs at the Steelers. They get the Pats, then they're at the Ravens. They're at the Bills. They're the Ravens again. Um, that's going to be tough for them because they're going to have to go on a run like now before Burrow gets back. And then you also have to remember, like in the past, when Burrow has come back, or I should say, just like started the season, he's not this year, but in prior seasons, he's usually dealt with an injury and like hasn't played in the preseason or like hasn't been practicing. And then you saw those first couple games that it takes him some time to get going. So number one, we don't know the rust, and we don't know like if he'll be 100% healthy. So, I mean, if you wanted to throw some couch change on it, I wouldn't. It's not
I
like
mean, $2 will net you
yeah,
240.
it's not
So you
the
know,
I can't get too mad at you, but it's just the defense. Like I just can't see them ever finding out a way to get enough stops because and like yeah, Burrow coming back is a boost.
it's not
But
likely.
like they're
But
scoring 40
obviously,
points a week.
The argument for whether it's them or anybody where you're getting shorter odds than one that's probably just going to be a waste of your time is that the AFC is kind of sketchy this year. Like I
Hmm.
do feel like now would be a good time. That's the wildest bet that you can make among teams that have any sort of opportunity to make it out of the conference, but I do think right now is a good chance to look at the board over on DraftKings and see, is there somebody that you believe in that you feel like you're getting a long number on? Kendra, I'm going to throw some at you. Tell me which bet you'd be willing to make. This is just a gut reaction. Doesn't mean that you have to go placing it in the app. Jags 60-1. Not expecting a guess on that. Chargers 11-1. Patriots 7-1. The Colts are plus 425. Do any of those sound intriguing as far as just simply making it out of the conference?
Probably the Chargers. I have a Chargers bet like plus 150, 120, something like that preseason for them to make the playoffs. So I've really been on the Chargers bandwagon for a minute, and I don't think I'm ready to get off of it yet. My only issue is that Justin Herbert in the postseason, absolute joke artist. Negative clutch gene. That's my issue. He can get you there. I don't know how far he can get you in the postseason. That's my big issue with him, but probably the Chargers. I get that everybody and their mom loves the Patriots right now, especially up here, like, and
I
deservingly
can
so.
only I can only
They
imagine what sports talk radio is like in your area.
Oh my God. They deserve all their flowers right now, but there's no way they stay this healthy. There's no way this trajectory continues. They just don't have the talent. Like, you can stay healthy and that can get you so far. And yes, Drake May is incredible. Like, injuries come for all of us. And when that happens to them, like, they just don't have the depth at all to back up anybody. Like, God forbid one person goes down, they're obliterated. I can't get behind the Patriots. Of those options for me, I have to continue to ride my Chargers bandwagon, even though Lad McConkey is still in jail.
Yeah, he's looked good, but maybe he'll break out this week.
No, he's dead to me.
Or he's reached deadline. So we're beyond bet jail. We are now in bet death with Lad McConkey.
Me and Lad McConkey, he's halfway in the grave for me.
All right, 6 feet under. Mine would be the Texans at 35-1. If you have the best defense in the NFL, well, I know it's not pretty. 35-1 for the best defense in the AFC. They just shut teams down in the postseason. They could get there that way.
I don't even think they're gonna make it out. No.
I mean, they'd have to make the playoffs first. But we're about to get to Thursday night
The
football.
one case I will make for the Patriots, though, just I'll say it, is that the Chargers. Yeah, I don't know if they can go on a run with their offensive line, the current state of it. We'll see. But the one thing I'll say about the Patriots, like what happened this weekend, it was huge for them and their chances at getting the 1 seed. And I mean, you got Denver as the Chiefs coming up a couple times this week, or in the next month, and the Patriots now 8-2. They've had one of the easiest schedules, but guess what? Their schedule doesn't get much more difficult. The Bills left one game in hand, and there's a good chance that the Patriots are going to be right there for the 1 seed, which is obviously massive. And then you get that highly coveted bye. And right now, I mean, you look at that game on Sunday from an efficiency standpoint, wasn't great, but every week it's Drake May, and that deep ball is like a cheat code for this offense, and he continues to play extremely well. But like they have the Jets at home this week, then the Bengals, then the Giants. And then
their schedule has been so soft, and it just continues to get softer.
Yeah, and it might save them a game, and it might give them home field.
And they do have some impressive wins. And beating the Bucks is nothing to sneeze at. They have a win against
winning
the
at the
Buffalo
Bills too. You have to give them credit. But yeah, May's played really well. And this weekend did a lot for their potential to get that 1 seed and give them breathing room in the division as well.
Are we buying his MVP odds? I know that at the
No.
beginning of the season they were like 80 or 90-1 or something outrageous like that, and now I don't know if it's him or Stafford right now. Probably him.
Stafford is the favorite as it stands right now. I would just lay a bet on Jonathan Taylor and hope that the narrative gets so loud around him that we actually go anti-quarterback here as far as the number goes. I want to see it.
I want it to not be a quarterback award. If they didn't give it to Saquon last year, it's hard for me to get there in my brain.
Yeah, maybe that shook Maybe that shook some people into thinking maybe we should start giving this to a running back. We're about to take a look at Thursday Night Football. Should we be laying it with the New England Patriots? But first, a word from our very own Kendra as we chat about DraftKings.
The Favorites podcast is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, and in partnership with DraftKings, Favorites listeners get a great offer. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 back in bonus bet if your bet wins, and 3 months of NBA League Pass to new customers. To get started, use promo code FAVORITES when signing up with DraftKings. That's promo code FAVORITES when signing up with DraftKings for 3 months of NBA League Pass and $300 back in bonus bets if your bet wins. The crown is yours.
Stuck, before we get to Thursday Night Football, you are our resident Maction expert. A couple of games tonight. Give us a pick. Explain the handicap in NFL terms for tonight.
We can go Western Michigan. I don't know if there's still any dog prices out there against Ohio. Ohio they're kind of like the current state of the Broncos in a way, and they've had some fortunate wins. They should have lost last week. Western Michigan at home, coming off a bye, it's a good spot. They had the better defense, and after what the MAC refs did to Miami of Ohio last week, hopefully Ohio has some. Yeah, I like the Western Michigan defense, and then their offense isn't great, but I think they can run the ball here. It's a very weak Ohio defense, and I think they're the better team overall at home. So we can go with the Broncos. Oh, and yeah, we're going with the Broncos against the college Broncos.
And Stuckey got ahead of it there. You got a +1 in the app. Now sitting at -1.5 over on DraftKings if you need a play for Tuesday night. Jets at Patriots. Patriots favored by 11.5. Total sitting at 43. Don't look now, but the Jets are riding a 2-game winning streak. Patriots just slightly better. They've won 7 in a row. The Patriots now have wins over the Bucks and the Bills, as we mentioned, but they are riding the good fortune of one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, and that's not going to change here. We will give them credit, though. Not only do they have a couple of impressive wins, 7-3 against the spread, so they're not just winning these games, they are covering in the process. Garrett Wilson is likely out 3 to 4 weeks, so that's even more of a reason to not like the New York Jets here. New England is top 10 in EPA per play on offense. On defense, they're allowing 3.6 yards per carry. All the Jets want to do is run the football. This should be a smash spot for the New England Patriots. If it wasn't for the fact that Thursday Night Football is weird, I would probably lay it with New England. I might get there. To me, it's Pats or pass. Backing it or benching it. What do you say, Kendra?
I'm definitely benching it. I want nothing to do with this game whatsoever. The Patriots are I can't get there. Like, I can't bet another cent on the Patriots this year. They just have absolutely decimated me. Every time I think they're going to fall apart, they just somehow get better and better. I don't want anything to do with the Patriots, but I will say the Jets have been looking sneaky good, and it's a short week. I still don't think the Jets are a good football team, but I think that they're making decisions to become a better football team. I just can't doubt this Patriots team anymore. They've really shoved it down my throat. I don't know what to say anymore. I was wrong, and that's okay.
That's good. You got to take your lumps. Stuckey, are you going to roll with the dirty, disgusting dog in this game or stay off completely?
I mean, I think that there might be a chance to fade the Pats sometime coming up. This is not the spot, in my opinion. I mean, number one, just historically, these first-time head coaches in their first Thursday night game have been really poor against the spread. I don't know if Evan has that, but because it's like unique prep and they're not used to doing that, and a lot of times their teams have come out and gotten smacked. But I don't see how, like, what is the path for they just got to hope that this game is weird, or like you're down 17, you get a backdoor touchdown. But the Jets, like you said, they can't throw the ball. I mean, they just won a game where Fields went 6 of 11 for 50 yards. They beat the Browns because they had they had a kick return and a punt return for a touchdown. It's the only reason they won that game. And then they beat the historically bad Bengals defense. I mean, anyone can move the ball on them. They were able to run the ball there. Well, the Patriots' run defense is really good. Where you can get them a bit is through the air, but it's not the Jets, especially without Wilson. So I don't know how they move the ball here. And it's not like this Jets defense, which is now without 2 of its best players. probably not gonna. I said this last week. It's probably not gonna hurt you against the Browns offense outdoors. But even the Browns, I mean, they put up 20. That's a lot for the Browns. The Browns usually don't get past 17. So I mean, Gabriel threw for 172 touchdowns, and they ran for 5 yards per rush. But this is the Patriots offense. It's on another level. So yeah, I don't know how. I don't love like laying big numbers in the NFL like this, but here, it's all signs point to the Patriots. I could never bet the Jets here. Would
Yeah,
need like 14 and a half.
This does feel like an SEC team taking on Wofford or something like that.
Yeah, like the Pats run day is legit. And that
Even though it's
basically,
divisional, you still feel like you need 14 and a half.
yeah, just the matchup wise, you got Glenn early. You don't have Wilson anymore. You've traded two of your best defenders. I just don't see the path. Like, it's just a terrible matchup for the Jets on both sides of the ball. Um, and this is when you'll really miss Sauce Gardner in this particular matchup. And I mean, the Patriots, however they want to move the ball, probably can. Also, the Jets had other defensive injuries that I don't know who's going to play on a short week, but they had a bunch of guys get banged up on the defensive line. At linebacker, one of their new starting cornerbacks got left the game. So yeah, how do the Jets move the ball here? And then I don't know how they get enough stops to keep this close without just like they're gonna have to get some turn. Now the one thing that could change it is uh, the Jets are like, and this is just one football game stuff, but the Jets are probably the most overdue team in the history of the NFL to get like takeaways. So like fluky takeaways that could keep them in it. I think on the season, like, do they even have an interception yet? I believe they don't have an interception.
That would be a crazy
Yeah,
stat.
they don't have an interception.
What are the odds for them to pick off Drake May?
And they're minus
I'll
10.
find it.
Minus 10 in turnovers. Don't have an interception on the season. It's week 11. Like, so that's their path. Like, they're gonna have to get some overdue turnover regression, because I don't know how they move the ball consistently.
That
That's the
might be
problem.
my play in our parlay on Thursday is for the Jets to pick off Drake May.
Plus 136. Please don't do that
That's
to us.
it. That's it.
Yep.
Ugh. Damn.
Seems like the books are ready for you. Let's plant our flag. Presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Kendra, get us started. What are you looking at?
I had two options for this. I didn't know if either of you would be thinking the same thing as me. I only have two bets in for the week so far. I'm probably only going to put in four or so. So half my bets are already in. But
The
I'm going to
captain
go
of
with the
discipline, by
Commanders.
the way. Kendra does this every single week. I've started seeing your betting patterns. Kendra's red hot, by the way. So for all of you on YouTube that talk ticket, because she's hotter than all of us. So job well done by you. But it's
Thank
discipline.
you.
I envy your discipline because I feel like I have a bloated sheet every single week. But anyway, what are the games you're looking at?
I think I'm going to go with the Commanders, getting 2.5 points against the Dolphins. This Dolphins team is just so ass. I don't know where. I guess they got a little bit of the GM bump, but this Commanders team is bad, but they're not as bad as this Dolphins team, even with the injuries. The Dolphins, I just keep expecting week after week for them to go belly up and just throw the season away because, like I said last week, they didn't do anything to make themselves better this season or next season. They didn't sell off. They didn't fire the coach. They haven't benched anybody. I guess you could maybe call it the Tyreek Hill bump because he's no longer a cancer on the field while he's running around out there being a jackass. But still, this Commanders team getting points. Don't care that it's in Miami. They just got beat, 44-22.
It's in Madrid.
That falls
It's in
into
Madrid.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it is in Madrid. This is the Madrid game. But still, regardless, neutral field, and you're going to give me 2.5 points, even better. Let's get after it. I like it.
Yeah, I was looking at the Commanders as a possible teaser leg, getting them up to 8.5. I do not trust the Dolphins to string together performances like this, especially when they're not playing the underdog role. I feel like it would be Commanders or pass for me. I don't like these international games. This is our last one, by the way. So we don't have to worry about that moving forward once we're done with Commanders and Dolphins.
Did you
Stuckey,
guys see the Terry McLaurin jokes about him wanting to just go for a vacation?
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's going to enjoy himself in Spain. He doesn't have to worry about playing a football game.
Because he's in Spain without the yes, baby.
Stucky, what about you?
What a miserable game, by the way.
Yeah, awful. We never give the overseas crowd good games. So, well, Colts Falcons was decent.
They
Yeah,
deserve it. Stop taking home games away. I hate the abroad crap. I feel like Napoleon Dynamite when I'm just like, no, go find your own, league, go find your own teams. Stop taking home games away. It takes away revenue. It takes away like jobs from local people. I hate this crap abroad. Leave me alone. I don't care if I sound woke.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Vikings plot -3 at home. I believe it's still -3. I like this Bears team has been like number one. Their defense is still horrendous, and especially without Gordon and Johnson, they can't stop the run. They can't really do anything. And this Vikings defense, they will get pressure. They will fluster Williams into mistakes. I just think this is a good spot to sell on the Bears. I mean, if you look at the Bears, their wins. So their last, let's just look at their last, all their wins this year. They beat the Cowboys. It's a really good spot at home. CeeDee Lamb went down in that game. Then they beat the Raiders by 1. I mean, they got outgained by, I don't know, 200 yards, 3 yards per play in that game. They beat the Commanders by 1. Got a couple fumbles in that game. We know how bad the Commanders have been this year. They beat the Saints. They lost to the Ravens with Tyler Huntley. Then they beat the Bengals on a walk-off, and they easily should have lost to the Bengals. Then they beat the Giants. Probably should have lost that game. Needed a crazy comeback for 3% win probability. So, like, this team has played such an easy schedule. And then every week someone gets hurt. Like, they've been playing so many backup quarterbacks. Like, Dark gets hurt last week. They get to play Tyler Huntley. They played the Bengals with obviously with Burrow not there. They played the Saints when, the Rattler, who's since been benched. So, I mean, look at this team's schedule. I mean, since starting 0-2, they have played nothing but clowns, for lack of a better word. I mean, think about it. Raiders, Cowboys, Commanders, Saints, Bengals, Giants, and then, they got blown out by the Ravens when even without Lamar. So I think this is a good spot to sell the Bears. McCarthy with he's still doesn't look great, but this Bears defense, I mean, if the Vikings want to run it, they should be able to do that. There's going to be easy completions. And I think that the Vikings can create enough chaos with Caleb running around. I mean, Caleb's been doing this against their run game's been very good. I'll give them that. But you just watch the Bears offense with Caleb on like passing downs. It's like, and he's been playing horrendous defenses for 2 months. He's just bailing out of the pocket. Like it's almost the same play. He'll snap it, and then he's created some big plays, some explosive plays. Credit to him. But again, look at the quality of defenses. And then he just bails 180, and then he's running around for his life. So he's not been very efficient. He's been explosive, but I'm not sure that can work in Minnesota against this Flores defense. So I think there's going to be probably a lot of negative plays, and this is a Bears defense that is a lot worse than some might think because they've just benefited from so many turnovers. And if you remove those, this is a really, really poor unit due to the injuries. So, yeah, I like the Vikings to bounce back. We just said the Jets, the Bears are the anti-Jets. The Jets are -10 in turnovers. The Bears are +14, which is
The
crazy.
Bears are the only team that's 6-3 or better that has a negative point differential on the season.
Yeah, so I think it's a good spot to get. It's like a nice, comfortable game for McCarthy. And the Bears just don't have anyone who can cover the Vikings. And I think Flores and that defense will coax Williams into enough mistakes and negative plays that they can get it done at home. So I think this is just a little cheap, pretty good spot for the Vikings and like close to a must win for their season in that division.
I am going to go with the Texans -7. You can get this at -115 versus the Tennessee Titans. Kendra, our local Titans backer week after week. There are other bets that I like out there. I actually already have about 4 in the app right now, but this
I'm
is
just
one
mad
that
at the Texans and their fans. That's all.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so this isn't about Tennessee. This is about Houston. The line indicates that Stroud is not playing, so if he does, we are getting ahead of the number in a pretty drastic way. Now, I don't usually like to tempt fate with these injuries, especially with something as unknowable as a concussion. But honestly, if I'm sitting there with a -7 on Sunday with Davis Mills as the quarterback, I mean, I'm just not going to be that perturbed by it. This Texans defense is elite. The Titans can't move the football. They've turned the ball over 13 times this year. Texans defense fourth in takeaways, number one in success rate, facing a team that's 32nd on the offensive side. Quarterback be damned. This is about the league's top defense playing the league's worst offense. 7 points is fair, and I will take my lumps if CJ Stroud is announced as out again. Our recap for the Plant the Flag games presented by DraftKings: Commanders +2.5 against the Dolphins, Vikings -3 facing the Chicago Bears, and Texans -7 against the Tennessee Titans. Now for the main event. No betting week can start without it. It is the primer courtesy of Evan Abrams. Evan, welcome to the show. Great job on Sunday night. What are the odds and trends we need to be aware of before we fire away?
Well, first of all, thank you, Brandon. In our chat right now, someone said Davis Mills' mom wouldn't lay 7 with him on the road. I think that makes a ton of sense based off of the handicap we just heard. But to answer some of the questions, Stuck, I'm going to look into this further, but I just did quickly a query. Looked like rookie head coaches Thursday Night Football as underdogs, 6-35 straight up last decade. So I will update some stuff there, but really, really terrible. The other one that's real good for the Thursday night game, you mentioned no interceptions. I believe Jets are just the second team since 1940. No interceptions through 9 games. 2017 Raiders also.
I remember that team. Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. So yes, +135. Terrible value, but easy bet. I can't wait. Patriots remaining strength of schedule, also absolutely ridiculous. You guys talked about it. 34% win percentage for remaining teams. Jets twice, the Giants and the Dolphins still to come up for them. Pretty crazy. In terms of other stories just this week, I mean, the MVP race, right now you got 6 players at 10-1 or shorter. Just for reference, we haven't seen that number in like a decade in terms of total players 10-1 or shorter entering week 11. So MVP race, absolutely awesome right now. We discussed it on Sunday night, but really, really fun. A lot of people will talk about the Giants after firing Dable. Obviously, Callahan gets fired. They laid the egg against Vrabel and the Patriots. But 7.5, decent number. That'd be the biggest upset for an in-season firing since Todd Haley, Romeo Crennel, 2011 with the Chiefs. So this would be a big number for the Giants to come through this week. We've talked about like the small bump, but yes, again, very small.
I read where Matt Stafford, this is the first time in his long career that he's ever been the odds-on favorite to be the MVP.
Yeah,
at
that
any
would
point.
make sense. I think that would make sense. I mean, also, this is the biggest week of Stafford's career. So he's MVP favorite, and I believe for the first time ever, he can go above 500 for his career. Because I believe he's 500 on the dot right now for the first time like ever in his career because of all the Lions years. So this is a big week for his career. The other one that's really fun in terms of just overall numbers this week, the Bucks off a loss have been really, really good. We've talked a lot about the Lions in that situation, but with Baker, 13-4 against the spread, and then when you just go back to the Rams, he's 15-4. He's covered 6 in a row off a loss. Obviously, big number there with the Bills this week, but interesting nonetheless.
Talk about laying an egg.
Yeah,
Bills.
unreal.
Hungover. I mean, I don't know if they were out all night in Miami or just that emotional letdown in the humidity after the Chiefs win, but man, did they look just completely dazed in a fog from the very beginning of that game. So yeah, that becomes a much more important game for both teams off of a loss, and we'll see if the Bills bounce back at home, where they rarely ever lose.
And just to be clear, going to the elbow room, definitely not going to come back to haunt Mike McDonald in the future. There's no way that's going to come back to get him.
By the way, the Dolphins closes an 8.5 point underdog. They end up winning by 17, and now they're favored in the following week. I imagine that the trends are not in Miami's favor to cover the spread again.
Yeah, most likely not. I'll have some stuff in the primer on that. But yeah, it's a bad spot off of a big upset, especially when you do a drive by to the opponent's bar.
I love it. I love the saltiness. And then last thing I have for you, you had a great one on Sunday about the uniqueness of the Rams and the Seahawks, how good these teams have been at not just winning, but covering the spread as well. Does that bode favor for either side here? Seahawks coming in as a 2.5 point dog.
So I'll give you a teaser to like read the primer to actually get the angle. But the thing I love the best is that both teams 77+% win percentage straight up and against the spread. We haven't seen a game week 10 or later where both teams 77% straight up and ATS face off in I can even find. I've seen some 75s where both teams were winning 3/4 of games, but this is a very, very unique matchup that's like 40 years in the making. So from like a covering and winning and same division. We've had like 3 or 4 weeks of some great games.
And that'll do it for today's episode. Special thanks to our producers, David Payne and Gifford Gould, our stats guy. Go check out the primer from Evan Abrams. The favorites will return next Thursday right here on the Action Network YouTube page when we talk Week 11 best bets. 2 days away, we hand out our 2 kings and a queen parlay. We'll see you right here on the favorites presented by DraftKings. We're out.